Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. So, the first thing I want to talk is about a really interesting article my husband found yesterday, and I asked him to share it with me because I really wanted to pass it on to you guys. So, you all obviously know what fake news is. So, in this article, it's very interesting. Basically, a mainstream news source, the BBC, obviously very mainstream, is was found to do a little investigation, and they found that YouTube is monetizing um, YouTube is monetizing channels that promote quote fake cancer cures. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on the fake cancer cures because some natural remedies um, do help with the healing process, and of course, they're not suitable for everybody, so you can't really call them cures because a cure is a specific thing. It actually gets rid of the ailment. So, on that regard, okay, fine. But what I think is very interesting is that not only is YouTube monetizing these channels and the channels are making money, but Google is making ad revenue by running these ads on these channels. Meanwhile, other accounts and channels are not monetized or demonetized for not advertiser friendly content. Meanwhile, brands are advertising on these channels that are promoting like bizarre health treatments. Now, I would like to share those bizarre health treatments with you. Some of them are not so strange, like, for example, using certain spices or whatever. Okay, that might work. But some of them are really funny, and I'd like to share that article with you. I'll also include it in the description after the stream is done because I can't do so now. But I'll include it for you so you can actually have a read through the whole article, and I'll include some more sources for the other stuff that I want to talk about. So, let's first have a look at this and then see what you think, and we can discuss. Where was it? Here we go. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. As you can tell, I'm not a huge tech-savvy person. Okay, so this is BBC. This was just yesterday. YouTube advertises big brands alongside fake cancer cure videos. Okay, so let me just read you the little blurb and then we can watch the video. It's only 3 minutes. YouTube's algorithm promotes fake cancer cures in a number of languages, and the site runs adverts on major brands and universities next to misleading videos, a BBC investigation has found. Okay, well, let's go ahead and look at this investigation and see what we think about that.
Some YouTubers claim they have the cure for cancer. Turmeric, baking soda, fennel seeds, and vegetables are among the fake cures they promote. BBC Monitoring searched in 10 languages and found over 80 videos containing unproven cures for cancer. YouTube's algorithm promotes these videos through recommendations. We asked Professor Justin Stebbing, a cancer expert at Imperial College London, to have a look at some of these claims. Claim: juices can cure or prevent cancer.
I really wouldn't use the word cure or prevent cancer. With juicing, of course, a healthy diet is incredibly important, and juices are a natural component of that. But to make the leap from juices and juicing to curing cancer is far too big a leap. There's no data to suggest that. There's no clinical trials to suggest that.
Claim: baking soda can cure cancer.
Some alternative therapies, such as baking soda, when consumed in certain amounts or in certain ways, I think can be harmful, as well as not having any positive effects. They can actually be detrimental to health. And I think baking soda is one such example. An Italian doctor being convicted of manslaughter for using it as a treatment.
Claim: donkey's milk can cure cancer.
I'm afraid it's rather unlikely that something like donkey's milk can extend the quality or quantity of life in people living with cancer. Now, I'm not saying conventional medicine has all of the answers, because it doesn't. But what I'm saying is be very careful with some alternative remedies on the unfiltered internet, making totally baseless claims.
47 of the videos the BBC found containing fake cancer cures were preceded by an advert. The creators of many of these videos are making money from the adverts which run before and during their videos, and so is YouTube. We asked YouTube if they're doing anything to stop this, and they said,
"We have taken a number of steps to address this, including showing more authoritative content on medical issues and removing ads from videos that promote harmful health claims. Our systems are not perfect, but we're constantly making improvements, and we remain committed to progress in this space."
YouTube has tried to reduce recommendations of videos containing misinformation, but only in English so far. A number of the YouTubers removed their videos after the BBC contacted them. Some YouTube.
Okay, so as you can see, I found that quite funny with the donkey milk. I mean, don't tell Owen that, otherwise he's going to get some donkey. Just kidding. Okay, again, I do agree in the sense that, you're not going to get a cure necessarily, but it's sort of in a way maybe an underhanded shot at alternative medicine, because it is actually a multi-billion-dollar industry, and I suppose they don't really like competing with their pharmaceutical industry, but nevertheless, I'm not against trying other things, but I definitely think that, do be careful, because you can certainly, run the risk. Now, here we go. YouTube has stated that its recommendation system, which has been accused of leading users down rabbit holes of conspiracy theories and radicalization, would change, recommending videos that are credible and trustworthy to people that are watching it. Okay, what does that mean? Well, if the mainstream does not like the message, be it true or not, it is a conspiracy theory. If the mainstream puts out the exact same message, then it is trustworthy, and it is not a conspiracy theory. For example, great example, easy example. Do you guys remember when MKUltra was being talked about? Well, they say that MKUltra is a conspiracy theory and there's no basis in truth. Then, when they declassified the documents recently, all of a sudden, it's all been corroborated. It is true. They named names. Everything was exposed. They even did talks and expos about it. People go up on stage and you buy tickets and you go and listen. And there's books now being promoted on Amazon about that. So when you don't want to talk about it, it's a rabbit hole and it's a conspiracy. When you do want to talk about it, then it's real and it's no longer a conspiracy. Again, it's really hypocritical because, and this is about health stuff, so there is a sort of, on the one hand, there is a right and wrong. Some things work, some things don't work, but also it's about trial and error. Some things do work for certain people that are not something you would necessarily prescribe. There are certain things called experimental drugs even, right, that are just new and they do work for some people. So here is another interesting thing that we can link these two together. We all know Steve Jobs, and this is also a mainstream publication, The Telegraph. Steve Jobs regretted trying to beat cancer with alternative medicine for so long. So instead of going to undergo surgery quickly for his pancreatic cancer, which was a rare form of cancer, fair enough, he tried to do this himself. Now, how did he try to cure himself? Let's read here. tried to cure himself through acupuncture, drinking special fruit juices, which came up in that, visiting spiritualists, and using other treatments he found on the internet. He found on the internet? You mean? Dun dun dun. He was a conspiracy theorist? Oh my God. See, people are just people. We all do the same thing. We all try to find information. You can only sift through so much. He went online and he tried to do what we all did, and there you go. Actually, one of my professors when I was in university told me that Steve Jobs went down to like Mexico to get some like weird spiritual healing and like psychic surgery and all sorts of like weird stuff like that. Unfortunately, he died. But there you go. And you can read this article as well. Why such a smart man could do such a stupid thing? I think he felt if you ignore something you don't want to exist, you can have magical thinking. It had worked for him in the past. He would regret it. Interesting. Okay, the big thing was he was not ready to open his body. It's hard to push someone to do that. Body exists to serve the spirit. Okay, well, that's fair enough. Basically, it's funny that if it wasn't Steve Jobs, they would call him a conspiracy theorist like they would call any of us. So it's very, very funny. So that's that. Now let me take you over to another topic that I want to talk about. So this was just the whole fake news and how you can promote fake news if you're mainstream. So YouTube and Google and the content creators are all making money off of this, and the people putting their ads onto these types of channels. But meanwhile, if you talk about, oh, I don't know, like put a news article up and discuss it, you will get demonetized if they don't like what you say. You use the wrong keywords or you don't follow the agenda, you will get demonetized. But these people can tell you that drinking donkey milk is perfectly fine, and they're making money, everyone's making money, and they're not even censored for it. Now, I'm not necessarily for censoring, but like, how can you justify that when, we're concerned about spreading misinformation? Very hypocritical. Now, let me take you to something a little bit more bizarre. Now, we know that tech is really engrossed, in our lives. Everything is tech, tech, tech. So let me show you some really strange apps that are going to now become part of our life. And I, for one, don't personally want them, but this is where the world is going. So let's just have a little look over here. Okay. 20 years from now, our homes will have mirrors that give us style tips to robots that help us with dinner. Okay. Do we really need this? Do you really need a robot to tell you what to wear? You can't just, I don't know, look in a normal mirror? Okay, let's read this. By 2040, they want to achieve these sort of things. Okay, let's read this. This is predicted what they want to happen. So smart appliances, which are already very popular, and other gadgets. Okay, look, I don't think that technology is bad per se, right? It's not good, it's not bad. Here's the thing. Washing clothes by hand is crap. Having a washing machine or a dishwasher or a fridge, amazing, great innovation, terrific, thank you. But phones, computers, great. But there comes a point where too much of this, it doesn't actually make life easier. It makes it so complicated. You have to learn how to use all these things. You have to jump between one up to the other. You're outsourcing all of your intelligence, all of your brain power, all of your everything to some other external mechanical entity. And then you wonder why people are becoming stupider, why they can't remember anything, they have bad attention spans, bad memories, they can't plan anything, organize, they don't know how to do any risk assessments of their own. So it's really very sad. We're becoming so dependent on these things. So here's the thing. This is the scary part. Consumers are finding fewer reasons to leave their homes as consumption evolves. I think people need to leave their homes. Okay. In the future, many more aspects of out of home life could be brought into the home due to digitalization. Do you see what they're doing? They're Do you not feel like it's an animal in a cage? Everything is coming to you in the home, so you never have to leave. You never have to interact with the environment. You don't have to interact with other people. That is precisely what the world needs, is more human interaction and not less. Okay, here's what some of the predictions. This is Business Insider, what they're predicting. 1. Our homes will be protected with biometric authentication, that will confirm our identities before letting us into the door. Okay, so here is another way that they can extract your fingerprints, your DNA, your eye scan, your facial scan, all the voice scan, whatever it is, right? Great. Now, next, each family member will have a pre-configured profile that will automatically adjust the lighting, temperature, and music choice when they walk into the room. So what is this? Like, you've got your theme tune, wow, chicka, wow, wow, Bobby's home. It's like, what world do you think do you think this is a movie? Is that what you want? Anyway, our refrigerators will track the food we eat and recommend healthy alternatives. So now this machine is going to tell you what you should be eating. If you want that and you have health problems and you need someone to, lock the fridge like without you being able to open it, fine. But I just think that there's a better way to do that. So instead of learning self-control and self-discipline, you're going to let a robot dictate to you what you should eat, when you should eat it, how much of it you should eat, all the rest of it. Okay. Next, our kitchen appliances will automatically reorder items we run out of, like food, detergent, or paper towels. They already have this. They have washing machines that have an Amazon button, and when you run out of your favorite detergent, it'll just pre-order it for you and arrive to your house. Again, it seems like a good idea because it's convenient, it's easy, but it's also expedient. And what does expedient mean? Expedient means to do something quickly, but it also means, and you can look this up for yourself, to do something out of self-interest that is not out of principle. So it's not necessarily a moral or a good choice. It's just an easy choice that's not always going to have good repercussions for you. We shouldn't be so lazy and so dumb that we are letting ourselves be led down this path that once you go too far down it, it's very difficult to come back, okay? Next, this one is disturbing. Our bedrooms will have connected mirrors that will act as virtual personal stylists. Is that all they're going to act like? Do you want something in your bedroom that's watching you change, watching you take a dump, watching you talk to your friend, watching you have sex possibly, or whatever else, pants around the ankle? Why do you need, and it's going to give you advice. It's going to talk to you. It's going to tell you, don't like that outfit on you. Oh, I think you didn't fully optimize the angle of penetration. Do you need this? Oh, I noticed you're pushing a little hard on the toilet. What kind of intrusion is this? Okay. Robots will have robot assistants, sure, that will help us with everyday tasks like picking things up the floor and preparing dinner. Look, I don't know about you. Not everyone likes to tidy up. Not everyone likes to cook. But it's a fundamental thing that you should know how to do and that you should be willing to do. We are not meant to live a life of leisure and to live a life of comfort. We are beasts of burden. We are made to work. He who does not work will not eat. You are supposed to earn what you have. It's not normal to live like this, and you shouldn't want to live like this. Think about it. If the power goes out, all of your things are no longer accessible to you. Your apps don't work, your computers don't work, your robot probably won't work. None of these things will work. That's if the power goes out. That's also, what if you get hacked? What if they shut your access off if they don't like you? That's not good. Okay, so here's another very disturbing part. Beyond that, robots greet family members when they enter the home and provide companionship, assistance, and entertainment for, get this, children or elderly members in the home. So this robot is not only managing your whole life, but it's raising your children, and it is looking after your elderly parents and grandparents. So what happens if the robot's algorithm decides, your parents are a bit of extra work, and we'll just go ahead and euthanize them, and we're going to override any sort of consent that you may need to give because it's done the calculations, and this is the best choice. Or teaching your kids the latest propaganda, giving them food or injections or things that you don't agree with. Why don't you realize it is a very slippery slope, and we're asking for it, we're begging for it, we're paying for it. This stuff is not cheap. Also, if people are so concerned about climate change and pollution and all the rest of it and running out of resources, don't you realize that all this tech stuff costs so much money to first make? So where's this money come from? You have to extract the raw resources from nature, process them, do something with the waste, store it, transport it. So think about all the pollution that is, created by making all of this, distributing it. You have to, all these places to hold your data, they have to keep it cooled and air conditioned, so that's going to take a lot of power. Making all of this stuff requires specific certain minerals and metals and all the rest of it. This is not actually a eco-friendly or green solution at all. And yet the hypocrisy when they tell you, you got to turn your lights off, you can't flush the toilet, you have to not drive, you have to not do this, not do that, don't eat meat. Well, you're shitting on the earth a lot more than the average person can do. This is a joke. Here's the funniest part right here. A major attitude shift would need to happen before any of these predictions can come true. So why do you think the propaganda is so strong? Why do you think they're pushing this on you so hard? According to a survey from this year, 72% of smart security system owners were concerned security companies would invade their privacy. Well, what expectation of privacy do you have when you've not read the terms of service, when you just go ahead and sign up for things that you don't realize what you're signing up for? You are giving away everything that is yours. For what? A bit of convenience? Are you that lazy? Are you that incapable of doing things? Moving on. Not only that, in another survey just from the year gone, 2017, respondents expressed fears about being watched, tracked, or listened to by smart devices, and feared the devices would expose too much about their daily lives. Yes, we've already seen that Alexa is recording things. There was a news article, mainstream news, that Alexa not only just recorded this conversation, but sent it to someone in their contacts list, and they could hear everything that they were doing. If they can do that, why are we not worried about being hacked by foreign countries or domestic, agencies? Why do people think that this is a good idea? The tech is not the end all be all. It's not the answer, okay? Here's something that I thought was a little reassuring. Why virtual reality still hasn't taken off. Thank God for that. Okay, now let me show you some, oops, that's my phone, just ignore that. Okay, so let me just show you some really interesting gadgets now that are being promoted and are becoming very, very popular. The things that they come up with. Okay, for your baby, smart baby bottle holder monitors food intake. Think about the level of data that they're going to collect about your baby. How much your baby drinks or eats, when, how often, what time, where. For sure it's going to be tracked GPS. This is just a couple years ago. Okay, everything about your precious little bundle of joy is going to be recorded. If it swallows air, if there's lumps clogging the bowel, it's going to know everything. Okay, how warm the temperature is. Hey, by the way, it's going to cost $100. Okay, think about it. Now, do you love your baby? Sure, but who else is another precious member of the family? Your pets. So they're going to do the same thing about your pets. Pro Bowl monitors your dog's eating habits, and I would imagine by extension your cat or any other pet that you have. Again, similar. This was January 2015. This was November 2015. Okay. Again, it's going to know everything about your pet's diet. Look at this. This is the best. Once upon a time, the choice in dog feeding bowls was metal, ceramic, or plastic. Now it's taking it a step further. Will alert you about abnormal changes to your dog's diet. Okay, let's hear this. It's a food grade microwave and dishwasher safe plastic, and it's powered by 4 AA batteries. Last I checked, plastic, ceramic, or metal bowls or glass bowls don't require batteries. Batteries which require special disposal methods. Again, metals and elements and minerals that need to be mined to make it, the manufacturing of it, which is not going to produce, it's going to pollute the environment, and you constantly have to buy it. So you just bought the bowl the one time, unless it broke or something happened, or you wanted a new one. Now you have to constantly replace the batteries. Think about that. Connects to a home network over the Wi-Fi, so now it's emitting Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, which some of you may or may not know, is electromagnetic frequency. It's got microwave radiation. You have to know that that is something we're constantly exposed to. People say 5G, 5G. Okay, well, it's not nothing. You don't have to let it stop you from living your life, but it is in fact something you should be aware of, that this has an effect. It damages you on a cellular level. Okay. It goes green when it's feeding time, and it has a built-in scale so you don't exceed the amount of food, or if your dog eats too much, it'll know. Tells you what type of dog it is, the breed, the height, the age or weight. Tells you bespoke menus or veterinarian recommendations. You scan the barcode of the food, and then it'll have a smart device camera and an app that will let you know everything that it needs to know. So they're collecting a freakish amount of information. Keep that in mind. And it's compatible, of course, with iOS and Android, obviously. It can indicate any illnesses based on the dog's drinking or eating patterns. And again, it ain't going to be cheap. It ain't going to be cheap. Okay? Now let's move on. Water bottles. Because a regular water bottle is not good enough, now you need a smart water bottle, the kind you have to charge. Okay, so of course you can find these online for sale. Imagine that you are so duped into this lifestyle that you actually think you need to buy a water bottle that has Bluetooth, an app, Wi-Fi. You need to plug in a water bottle. Just think about how stupid that sounds. This is exactly why you need to shame the devil. You need to make fun of people who do this because they think they're super cool. All these little wearables and gadgets, this is preparing you for that final stage where they've already chipped your dog. Now you're next. This is marketed for a reason, okay? And it's all integrated. Everything is integrated. It is not enough to just buy a glass bottle because you want to be eco-friendly, or a stainless steel bottle, or plastic, BPA free, all the rest of it. No, it has to be a smart bottle. Everything has to be smart, 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 which again, code for you being dumb, dumb, dumb. Everything's got an app. It's monitoring everything about you, what you're drinking, what temperature it is, how much of it you drink, at what time. I'm pretty sure it's going to have a GPS tracker in it. Look at this. You're plugging in a water bottle. You're so stupid. Anyway, look at the level of analytics that they can get. They think that this is good. Anyone with eyes to see and ears to hear is going to realize this is crazy. Look at the level of sophistication that they have. Okay, it's not just one of those apps of, oh, have I done enough burpees today, and a timer to make sure I'm doing my stuff right. Okay, now here we go. Next, smart shoelaces. Those little bits there. That's where the tech's at. Smart shoelaces. What do they do? I have no idea. I can't find any information on what they do. It doesn't say. It doesn't have like a about us. What is it? Right? It doesn't say. It just says customer reviews. Oh, let's see the FAQs. Let's see what the questions are. How can I track my order? What is the return policy? Okay. See, it doesn't tell you anything. So what are they for? What are they for? Okay, let's read some of the reviews. I don't get it. Is it just to track where you're going? What is it for? Do you just like the color of them? Like, I don't get it. You really have to be quite dumb. The company is just as amazing as their laces. What a cock. Oh my god. One of those little bits fell off. Can you send me a replacement? What a pussy. Funky colors and socks. So dapper. Oh my god. Ladies, do not buy this for your men. Men, don't frickin' buy this. Stop being a pussy. My god. Next. Digital soles. So it can again monitor what your step is like, your pressure, how fast you run, where you run, everything about the contours of your foot. Warm series if you want to have warm feet. This one is if you've got any, special foot healthcare issues. Excuse me. Sport Profiler. The running app and the cycling app. We can learn more about that if you want. You can go ahead and look it up. This is in France and England, but I'm more than positive you can buy this anywhere. Look at that, so matrixy. Here we go, and it's got the app where it analyzes the activity. Guys, they're saying this to you as if it's a good idea. We know. Look, you have to charge it. Again, the fact you have to charge things that you have never had to charge before, it's ridiculous. Ultra high and comfortable, easy to adjust, light electronics. Where does it say? Where was it saying that you can track it? Anyway, yeah, here we go. Insole in the shoes. Make your activity. Analyze the results. Okay. Here's another one. The only way to automatically measure calorie intake through your skin. Okay. They've already raised over $1 million. They're trying to get this done. And look, you can be a helper. So, oops, sorry. You can be a helper. How much do you want to donate? Do you want to donate 10 bucks, 50, 100, 300, 5, 7, 7,000, 16,000? What do you want to do? You want to help them out? Stress levels, heart rate, calories burnt, calories intake, hydration, sleep. All these wearables, look, it starts with a phone in your hand, then you're wearing it, then it's in your body. Think about it. Now, next, because we haven't fully intruded in your body enough. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, remote control, sex toys. Do you want the butt plug? Do you want the double-ended one? Do you want the, I don't know what that one does. This is in, I think, Dutch, but just look at this. Look at how she is under his control with this app. It's monitoring everything. Think of the intimate data it's going to collect. Close range control, long distance control. So you could be on the other side of the world wanking your girlfriend off, or your boyfriend, I suppose. Customized vibration. Think about the data it's going to collect. It's going to know, maybe or maybe not, how wet your vag is, how dry your vag is, how quickly you can orgasm, how often you can and frequently you can use it, when you use it at night, who's accessing it. Maybe you've given your special key to other people. What it takes. Do you have a G-spot or do you not have it? Like, think about what this is saying. Think about what this is doing. This is absolutely ridiculous. And there's, of course, more. This one, it's a great Valentine's gift. You know what would be a great Valentine's gift? Normal love and intimacy with your partner. I'm not saying you can never use these things if that's what you should desire, but look, this is ridiculous. So this one is now connected to your favorite song. So you can get it on with your favorite song. Here we go. Apparently more than half of women use these devices, and yet they can be intimidating for guys. So here's the thing. This company was started by a husband and wife team trying to make it normal. Okay? Here we go. Listen to this. This is just ridiculous. Tech can replace the human experience, the guy said. But we don't want tech to replace it. It's like contact lenses. We want a great user experience, but we don't want to know it's there. Well, it's kind of hard not to know when you've got a frickin' butt plug up in there. How do you not know it's not there? Men are typically threatened by these devices, but they shouldn't be. Tech, as an enhancer, creates a better user-couple experience. It doesn't interfere with the human touch. It helps to augment. Think about what does that mean? User-couple experience. That is so robotic. Is that what love and intimacy is? A user-couple experience? The angle of penetration has been fully optimized. Would you like to repeat? It's like so stupid. Anyway, so these are the gross encroachments that are in our lives. Let me now go back to the topic a little bit about wireless radiation and Wi-Fi and all the rest of it. This is not scaremongering. The truth shall make you free. You need to understand what these things are. So here's one fella. He is from the Royal British Navy. And he tells you how microwaves are a weapon. And again, it is a health hazard. Look him up. His name is Barry Trower. You can look him up yourself, okay, and watch some of these videos. It's dangerous. It's not good, okay? No one said you cannot ever use it, but use plugged-in internet if you can. Don't keep your phone in your pocket where it can irradiate your junk, okay? Just think a little bit more clearly. Just because it's convenient doesn't mean it's good. And this lady, Dr. Debra Davis, that's her. She is pretty, high up there in the research on wireless radiation. It causes cancer, it causes tumors, causes sterility, fertility problems, DNA damage. And both of these people will tell you they're experts in it. This damage is something that you pass on genetically. So once your telomeres are damaged, once your DNA is damaged, you are reproducing, replicating that damage in your children and their children and so on and so forth. So yeah, you can say, oh, but I know people who have Wi-Fi and use internet and phones and they have kids, it's fine. Of course, yeah, it's not going to be instant, but some people are more susceptible than others, and how do you know you're that person until you have it? Same like with the whole weed and schizophrenia thing. Okay, only 4% of people have that predisposition. So how do you know you're not that 4% person until it happens to you and you get psychosis, okay? You don't know that, and no one's going to test you for it. It's expensive and difficult, so why would you risk it? Just be careful. There is actually clothing and sheets and things that you can use and paint that you can use to protect against those types of things if you're worried about it. So you can do further research on it. It is like EMF protective clothing and things like that. You can look it up. Listen to this. People, pregnant mothers in China are, recommended to wear like a really thin lead apron to protect the baby from EMF. In Israel, there's no Wi-Fi allowed in schools. Why? Because they know something. In France, some schools have also banned it. It's only wired, plugged-in internet. It's a silent weapon, and people don't realize it. This is not to scare you. It is to inform you. It is to help you, okay? So just to sum up, when you spread information that may or may not be true, maybe you thought it was, you're genuinely just trying to help people, you will be called a conspiracy theorist, and you are spreading fake news, and you are not a good person. When a mainstream company who's making money off of this does it, totally fine. And even if you catch them, oh, whoops, sorry, we're doing our best to fix that. That's one thing. So you got to stick with a pre-approved narrative. Another thing, all of this tech is not helping us. It's not necessarily a good thing. It is taking away human agency, human autonomy. You cannot, it's all predictive algorithms, right? It's all trying to nudge you into certain behaviors, into certain thoughts, okay? It's not necessarily a good thing. If you absolutely need it, there is as I said, not all good, not all bad. If you maybe have some benefit that you're getting from it, fine, but just know that you still need to be in control. You need to be able to put it down. people have separation anxiety when they're not with their phones. Some of my, like I know young people who freak out if you take their phone from them or, just require them to sit still. They can't do it. Okay. And it's the same for adults. Do you know that on average, people spend hours a day on one type of device or another, but especially their phones? It's fragmenting our attention, it's killing our memory, it's ruining the way that we have human interactions. Apparently, people are not even leaving their house because of all these devices. You can't even go shopping. You can't even have the joy of shopping because everything's online, right? So, all of these things, and at the end of the day as well, there's a huge health benefit to it. So, as if it's not bad enough mentally on you, physically, there's a problem as well. So, take from that what you will. I will link this articles and other YouTube videos for you to have a look for yourself. You don't have to trust me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just sharing with you what I've learned. But I really highly suggest that you just think a little bit more critically about these things and just keep a healthy, safe distance. If you're not in control, then you're an addict. Think about that. It's the same thing with drugs. The APA, the Psychiatric and Psychological Association, they have a manual, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, DSM. They will tell you that there is substance addiction and non-substance behavioral addictions. Exact same part of the brain, the dopamine pathways, the whole reward center is same. It is lit up. Same with pornography addiction, same with video game and internet addiction, same with any repetitive behavior that you derive joy from that you cannot stop doing. It interferes with your life. You feel withdrawal when you don't do it. You have a tolerance and a high threshold for doing it. And people don't realize that they have a problem. We are being conditioned, we are being primed to accept things that we would never accept before. Our ancestors would not have done this. It's like, yeah, we invented a car. That's great, but now the car is driving themselves. You're not driving the car. What good is that, right? If if it crashes, then who's responsible? If if it gets hacked, who's responsible? These are all questions nobody wants to ask because then they feel like,